world of fireworks, this is the big time. 4th of July in Washington, D.C. 800,000 eyes on the sky. In 20 minutes, they'll witness $75,000 in paper, chemicals, and black powder simply explode. Brilliant color, deafening sound. This is a marriage made in heaven. The man who brought them together is firmly grounded in La Follette, Tennessee. For his company, Pyro Shows, this night is magic.
This is the Olympics, this is the Super Bowl, this is the World Series of fireworks. It's probably, without doubt, the most prestigious show that you could do anywhere in the United States. I mean, it's the 4th of July, this is Washington, D.C., we're in the fireworks business. To me, that's just as Americana as apple pie and baseball.
Ready, 10, fire.
For Lansdon Hill, pyrotechnician, the quest for fire began in childhood. But the skill needed to get here tonight has taken a lifetime to develop.
I guess I got into this business as a 10-year-old. I knew there was something about mixing chemicals together and making a big fire that appealed to me. So where you separate the pyrotechnician from the pyromaniac, I don't know.
When you've achieved this level of success, there are bound to be rumors.
Well, now, there is some truth to the rumor that in high school I did sell fireworks out of the trunk of my mother's car. Now, keep in mind, in 1969, DOT didn't require placards on vehicles carrying a small amount of Class C inventory.
Mother's car never traveled down this road. Fireworks have been made in China for more than 1,000 years. In fact, Chinese are credited with their invention. They believed the loud noise would scare away evil spirits. The ancient Chinese made all of their fireworks by hand. Here at the Sunny Fireworks Factory in central China and throughout the world, fireworks are still handcrafted. The reason? Sparks. Just one can turn this factory into an inferno. When you see a firework explode in the sky, you're really watching burning chemicals. The chemicals are layered into balls called stars. The stars are encased in shells like this. A fuse runs to the lift charge. When it explodes, it shoots the shell out of the mortar tube and ignites the timer fuse. As the shell travels skyward, the timer fuse burns. When it hits the burst charge, the shell explodes and the stars ignite and scatter. The outer shell is made first. It's a cardboard bowl that is cut out, then pressed into the size needed. These professional fireworks can be as large as 24 inches in diameter. The stars are made far from the rest of the factory. This is another fire precaution. They're made by spinning powder and chemicals. Color changes are created by adding layer upon layer of different chemicals.
Each layer of color represents a different color that the star would burn. The outside ring is the first color that burns, and then it changes colors, and then you got a flash at the end.
After the stars dry, they're packed into the shell with the burst charge. Here, some timer fuses are added. The workers' tools are made from non-sparking materials, like wood or brass. The assembled shell is pasted with paper and allowed to dry. Layer after layer is added until the shell is the correct size. This process can take weeks. If a shell is too big or too small, it won't fire properly. These are double bubbles. They were custom designed for the DC show. They allow 2 shells to be fired from one mortar tube. All firework shells are given names by the manufacturer. Sometimes they're descriptive.
Ring shells, Saturn ring shells, atomic ring shells, triple ring shells, interlocking ring shells, the escargot shell, the heart pattern, the star pattern, the heart with a ring, the star with a ring.
Sometimes they're bizarre.
The serpents and sky monkeys and lion roar, yellow flowers on battlefields.
After dark, the double bubble debuts, along with some other new shells designed at the factory.
The move from Tennessee to Washington is about a 12-hour drive. We took a total of 5 tractor trailers with either material, mortars, equipment, bunker material, or sandboxes for the mortars to the Park Service site. So we had about 12,000 pounds of fireworks. There were a total of close to 3,000 pieces, of which none were smaller than 6 inches in diameter. When I say there's 3,000 fireworks, that also means, by definition, there are 3,000 tubes, because in an electrically fired show, nothing's reloaded.
Ken Owens is the crew chief. The weight of this show falls on his shoulders.
They don't come any better than Ken. You know, Ken is somebody that we fondly refer to as Dad. Not that he's any older than the rest of us, it's just he's probably more responsible than the rest of us. I trust him with anything we had to do, anywhere we needed to do it.
Ken is used to dealing with explosive substances. He is, after all, a full-time high school guidance counselor.
And then when school's out in May or June, Ken comes to work for me and works all summer, and we always give him the red badge of courage for taking on the biggest or the meanest project that we have for the summer, which this year is the Washington, D.C. show.
The first few hours of setup run smoothly until...
Setback, is that the problem?
We may have a problem.
Well, there wasn't really a problem, I guess, other than when the safety personnel originally measured the distances that we needed to comply with NFPA, which is 840 feet for 12-inch shell. They thought we had it. So we positioned the trailer, and then they went back with a roll wheel and specifically measured, and I think we were about 20 feet short. There was maybe 820 feet. So we had to reposition our flatbed trailers that have our 8, 10, and 12-inch mortars in it in order to get that extra 20 feet. That slowed us down several hours. It seemed like a kind of a small issue to have to deal with, you know, over 20 feet, and to err in the sake of safety is certainly the wise thing to do.
Those two on the end, just straighten them up. Make sure it's 2 foot from it.
Almost all of our crews come from people from La Follette, which is kind of odd because we're a relatively large firework company, and La Follette is a very small town, so where do you get so many people that will be willing to shoot fireworks? So when we go down to La Follette's own Greasy Spoon for lunch, you kind of recruit all year long. Hey, what are you doing next 4th of July? Would you like to go shoot with us? And of those who do, we put them through our training program. There's a real esprit de corps among the shooters. They get along well with each other. Of course, they certainly get to know each other pretty well in 10 days, but we have very, very few morale or personnel problems. Our main employees, our regular employees, of course, shoot fireworks all year long, but the rest of them may be carpenters, school teachers, welders, a respiratory therapist at the hospital. Somewhere along the way, gunpowder's gotten in their blood, and this is the way they want to spend their summer vacation, and so here they are.
You won't find these shells in stores. They're called display fireworks. They can be as small as 1.5 inches in diameter to larger than 16 inches. In D.C., the largest shells are 12 inches. That's about the size of a basketball. Only one that weighs around 40 pounds and moves straight up at 200 miles per hour. Rain can render a high-priced shell into a dud in a matter of moments. To protect them, each shell is covered with plastic and foil. The foil is also a safety precaution. It keeps sparks from igniting other shells prematurely. With this fire and waterproofing, the entire show could be shot during a